Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, and some really unfortunate news for both Munster as well as Springbok lock Jean Kleyn is that he has officially been ruled out for the remainder of the domestic season. And I mean, absolute disaster for Munster, who, if you look at their injury list at the moment, it's ridiculous. I mean, missing almost a full squad worth of players. Almost like I think at one stage the injury list is saying like 12 players. I think it's stupid. So yeah, really not good news here for Munster, and particularly for Jean Kleyn. He's kind of coming into his own, hasn't he, in the last year? Was obviously such a big part of that Munster URC winning campaign. As a result, being called out to the Springboks, going to the World Cup, playing in the World Cup final, becoming a world champion. You kind of thought the stage was set, and then Munster then announced the re-signing of him, for example, that he had committed to playing for them. And things were all going quite well. He was injured at the time, sort of suffered an eye socket injury, but was looking good to make a comeback. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen this season. So after winning the World Cup for the Springboks, he will not feature once again for Munster. But we do also have a positive update on Arceus Snyman, who we might see relatively soon, all things considered. So, yeah, before we get into exactly what's happened, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so he had an eye issue, which he suffered whilst playing against Leinster in the URC. And, apparently that wasn't supposed to be anything too long term, but apparently it's taking a much longer time to heal than initially thought. And as a result, he has opted to undergo a surgery on a knee issue, which he is able to play with, but is sort of an ongoing issue, and there's an underlying problem. And because of the eye injury keeping him out, he's opted that whilst he's going to not be able to play and stuff like that, it would make sense for him to undergo the operation and to sort of come back with a clean bill of health, really. So not good news for Munster, who, as I said, have not had the service of Arceus Snyman so far this season at all. However, there is good news on the Arceus Snyman front, because he is expected to return in March. And we are about to go into a lot of Six Nations weeks. So, yeah, in terms of games missing, he will miss the next couple of rounds of the Champions Challenge Cup. But in terms of URC, actually, I think he'll only miss about 1 or 2 match weeks, because there is so much Six Nations happening in the next few weeks. But yeah, if you look at the injuries, for example, they've got hopefully the returns of the likes of Alex Nankivell, Niall Scrannell, and Joe Carberry, and Patrick Campbell, who are potentially going to start training this week. They've got the likes of Oil Yagafin and Wycherley and Pino Amani, who's still looking to return from injury, whilst the injury also includes the likes of Jack O'Donoghue, Mike Haley, Cian Hurley, Edwin Odobo, Jack Daly, Liam Coombs, Ramon Talanoa, and David Kilcoyne, as well as Diamond Barrett, who all remain injured. So, yeah, as I said, a very large injury list. So, yeah, to lose Jean Kleyn for the season is a huge loss, because obviously that partnership with Jean Kleyn and Arceus Snyman, arguably the best partnership in club in the world. That's one of those things that sort of challenge you to find a domestic side that has a better lock partnership than 2 current World Cup winners. With Arceus Snyman being potentially one of the best locks in the world on his day when he's fit and firing, which he was during the World Cup, and frustratingly for Munster, once again, now it's just gone down. But look, there's a lot of attention currently on Munster with all these injuries, saying, well, why are there so many injuries, and it's difficult, because it's not always the club's fault. Sometimes you just have these sort of freak season stuff like that, but it's one of those things. The more injuries you get, the more you start to question, well, this is not abnormal, and is this just a coincidence? For example, is this an anomaly, or is this genuinely a case of there's something the club is doing wrong with training methods? For example, are they under-prepared, over-prepared? Are they being played too much, too little? And why are their bodies not ready and their best to withstand the sort of the impacts and stuff like that. So it also does sort of throw into the span of the whole sort of idea of player welfare, the fact that our players playing too much. This is resulting in a lot more injuries, for example. Is this the case? And we saw yesterday Remain Internet coming out talking about the fact that the OB calendar is too condensed. And I saw a comment there which I thought was a little bit ill-informed. And it was the idea, well, this people, they do it for a living, and if they can't do them, just go find something else. And that's a really simplistic way of looking at things. And spoken from a point of ignorance. You can pay me as much money as you want. You can pay me every cent in the world. You know, a broken arm's a broken arm. Muscular injury is a muscular injury. If I tear my hamstring because I play too much rugby or whatever, that happens. You know, and it's got nothing to do with, oh, it's their job, they must toughen up. It doesn't work like that. You know, it isn't the case because you get paid more money, all of a sudden your body is, you know, immune to injury. So I always think it's a really simplistic and basic take. So yeah, I think this is an interesting case study with regards to why is this happening. Is it a case of, you know, the players playing too much? Is this an issue with Munster and the training and the medical staff, for example, there? Or is this just one of those anomaly things? But the main thing is, yeah, no Jean Kleyn for the season. Somebody was saying it's a massive setback for the Boks. Nobody has confirmed when he'll come back. So, you know, for example, this could put him out until June, but maybe he could be making a comeback in July, for example, or August, September, and the Boks play as late as November. So I do think he will still feature for the Springboks this year, if all things go according to plan. But, yeah, it could be a bit of a race against fitness to make it for that island series. I'm sure is one he would love to play in, given the fact that he was playing against the side he did represent. But let me know, you know, how did Munster cope with these injuries? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.